YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. I want to start off by telling you guys that timestamps are down in the description. You can feel free to scan forward or backwards if there is a particular caption that might interest you guys. We're going to start here with this being the video expectations, and then from here we'll lead to some frequently asked questions. Now, let me explain to you, this is a comparison video. We've done about 4 of these to date with the Sony A95K and the LG G3 OLED. We've got both of these televisions in my game room and they're set up in a left-right orientation. And so today's going to be that again. Now, this video is going to have a little bit more length to it in case, you are interested. Like I said, timestamps are down below, so you don't have to give it a full watch time. I'm going to do my best to caption specific talking points that might favor one TV or the next, or just a general discussion that I think needs to be had so that you guys can go straight to that point, listen to it, assess it, and leave a comment so that we can build some engagement. Now, the point of this content being shot has been really just to express my enjoyment of the G3 and also talk about how well the A95K does. Because these two TVs, although they're 4K and, they're great TVs, they're smart TVs, so there's a lot of similarities. The reality is one is a year older and it's a Gen 1 of its kind. So the QD-OLED A95K is going to have a successor that's coming out probably in a couple of months called the A95L. We'll see what that can do. And I do like the 95C from Samsung. So I'm thinking the 95L is going to be really good. But I've really been just wanting to show you guys, what these two TVs can stack up against each other and how they play. Because the A95K at 65 inch, which is what I have on the wall in this video, it's going to come in at a price that's going to be very much comparable to the G3, which is the 2023 from LG, in 55 inch, which is what I have on the wall. So like I said, make sure that you guys, check the timestamps. Let's have some engagement. Let's have some dialogue and let's get it going. All right, guys. So first, before we get to the frequently asked questions throughout the previous videos that we posted on this subject right here, we do have these two TVs again on the left, and it's stated in the title. We've got the Sony A95K and 65 inch, and on the right, we've got the LG G3 OLED. So this is on the left, 2022, pretty much the king of the hill versus the 2023, potentially king of the hill from LG. So a couple of things I want to discuss, how we are filming this content. Right there in the middle below, we've got a Denon receiver. It is a Model 970H. This is the same exact receiver that I have. So I have 2 of them on my 77-inch Samsung S95C. It's a great receiver. The reason I like this receiver is because it does give me HDMI 2.1. So 8K or, like I said, 4K 120 for 2.1, variable refresh rate, gives you low latency, all of that stuff in and out through a couple of ports. So I have next to it a gaming PC with an NVIDIA RTX 4090. Now, what that is doing for me is putting me in a position beyond using a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, so that if the game can natively run in 4K and natively run beyond 60 frames per second, I like to be able to achieve that. That's ultimately the goal, is to be able to get the most potential out of the display, So the reasoning why I don't use a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X for these types of videos has nothing to do with the exclusive catalog that the PlayStation may have for a short period of time. It has everything to do with performance. I want peak performance out of these displays. Now, beyond that, let's get to the frequently asked questions. Number 1, that's extremely popular as we are looking at these two displays. Let's focus on the right. So with the LG, we are going to go down to all settings. And I want you to pay close attention to how this is going to look. We're going to go to advanced settings and we're going to go to reduce blue light. Now, there's been quite a few consistent mentions within the prior videos about the LG having a green filter. When you turn that off, that's what you get. It's a lot of blue and I don't like that. Now, LG, out of the big three being LG, Samsung, Sony, in my opinion, has the most aggressive warm base, so blue light filter or reduction, and I love it. I absolutely love it. The Sony is set on a cinematic 2, and I mean, that's kind of their warm base. The LG is just going to be more aggressive. So just so you guys know, when you're looking for these comparisons, your expectations should be that the person that's reviewing the content is being honest. And in being honest, I'm watching it the way that I would watch it. So I'm giving you as close to a one-to-one as possible between these two displays. So that's something that I just wanted to kind of point out. Another thing, we talk about the whites looking more pink on all TVs virtually outside of the MLA LG 3 on the right. That is true. However, you don't notice whites looking more pink on the QD-OLED unless you have a setup like this where you're looking at whites that are looking more pure. I said that before and I'll say that again. The whites don't look to be as pink when you're watching one of these TVs from Samsung or Sony that's a quantum dot OLED if you're looking at them by themselves. However, if you are looking at them side by side like this, which this is totally not a usual or typical setup, then you will notice that the whites on the MLA look more pure. Hopefully that answers that. Another notable mention, colors. Can we make colors look more dull on the Sony to maybe replicate the LG? So let me just be perfectly clear with you. The color volume on the LG in all of these videos that I've done prior, if you're seeing this and you haven't seen the ones prior, my recommendation would be that you just go in chronological order. We've been shooting this content over the last week, so check it out. The LG's base or the volume is at about an 85. I set it that high. Typically, I would only be having it set at like a 55, but it's on 85 and the Sony is on a 65. We've discussed this in community posts and so forth. I had to turn the volume up on the LG to give me a closer appreciation versus what I get from the QD-OLEDs. So similarly, how I just spoke about whites looking more pure when the two are together, or if you look at the quantum dot OLED, the whites won't look as pink. One thing about the quantum dot OLED is if you look at the colors on it by itself, and then you look at the colors on the LG by itself, you are going to see the colors will look more dull. If you overly saturate the colors on the LG to try to replicate what the QD-OLED does, in my opinion, with me being an owner of multiple of these types of TVs, it doesn't look the same. So it leads me to believe that there's truly just different technology in the panel technology that's on the left. Hopefully that answers that also. Another notable mention in question, the thing that's come up a lot, the ABL on both of these. I had someone ask me if I could test them. This is going to be the best that I can do. I think it's about an apples to apples and fair comparison. And so, I don't think that it's really that much of a problem. Both of these TVs are built really well with, quality heat sinks. And so, in my opinion, these are the best of the best when it comes down to that. The Samsung isn't going to have a heat sink. And by that way, I mean the S90C and the S95B. The S95C, in my opinion, does, a pretty good job with the ABL. But if you have any questions about these two, I think it's pretty much an even Steven. I'm not the most technical one that's going to make a video with, a time bar at the bottom of it, counting it. My content's just going to come from really talking points. As I said right now, these are gaming displays. And so, it kind of is what it is. So let's get to some gameplay on Red Dead Redemption. All right, so within the HDR calibrations built into this game, you've got two different presets of style. You've got cinematic and then you've got gaming, which definitely turns the light cannon on with this for the sake of this video and the camera maybe not being able to pick everything up. We're going to leave this down to the cinematic for reasons I think may be obvious as I'm looking at the viewfinder, even though with this we can, turn up the peak brightness and such. We're just going to leave this as a base here. I'm just, wanting to show you guys this. I thought that would be an important talking point to the video. Okay, so now that we've got everything set up, before I load the game, let's just focus on a couple of things we talked about in the opening sequences of this. The whites on the right side of the screen, they're going to be more pure. They are more pinkish on the left side of the screen. Also in reverse, your colors, that red is going to be much more vivid on the left than it is on the right. Now, however this might articulate to you guys on YouTube, the red looks absolutely flawless on the left. It doesn't look overly saturated. So, I don't know, man. You get these color purists that come on the internet and, they're like, oh, this needs to look more natural. This is a video game. Keep in mind, this is a video game comparison. The red on the left looks better. It just does. You know, it's more inviting. It's more pure. It looks like blood, you know. So that definitely is some pop there. And I think that's what you want. And at the same time, like I said, that white looks very organic on the right side. Very pure white, like you know, it's just pure. That's the best way I can articulate it. So I'm just going to let this opening sequence run. I've been asked to, hey, you know, run some TV content, non-gaming stuff. I think this game looks absolutely amazing. And I think this is a great representation of you being able to see both of these TVs. All right, and so here we go. We get into some cinematic. Now I'm sitting in front of this G3. It's looking amazing. It looks really good. The warm base on the G3 adds a little bit more of a cinematic pop to it.
We'll have to stop someplace. Okay, Arthur's out looking. I sent him up ahead.
If we don't stop soon, we'll all be dying. This weather, it's May. I'm just hoping the law got as lost as we did.
There.
One thing about a TV having saturation potential is that you can dial it down.
I found a place.
If the TV lacks it, you can't dial it up.
Let Davy rest, buddy. You know, an old mine in town. Man, it ain't far. Come on. Come on! Yeah!
Man, they both look really incredible.
Bring him in here.
Man, I have a hard time arguing that you would not enjoy one or the other.
Miss Jones, bring in whatever blankets we have. Mr. Pearson, see what we've got in terms of food. Davy's dead.
There was nothing more you could have done.
What are we gonna do? We need supplies.
Well, first of all, you're going to stay here, and you were going to get yourself warm. And I sent John and Mike scouting out ahead. Arthur and I, we're going to ride out.
What are you guys thinking?
One of them. Yes. Just for a short bit. And I don't see what other choice.
I love the way those red looks on a QD-OLED.
Listen. Listen to me, Ollie, for a moment. Now, we've had, well, a bad couple of days. I loved Davy, Jenny.
It's like the colors have the ability to look like they're in vivid when the TV's not set in vivid.
I don't know. But we lost some folks. Now, if I could throw myself in the ground in their stead, I'd do it gladly. But we are going to ride out and we are going to find some food. Everybody, we're safe now. There ain't nobody following us through a storm like this one. And by the time they get here, well, we're gonna be long gone. We've been through worse than this before. Mr. Pearson, Miss Grimshaw, I need you to turn this place into a camp. You may be here for a few days. Now, all of you, get yourselves warm. Stay strong. Stay with me. We ain't done yet. Come on, Arthur.
Listen at them words of encouragement.
All right. We've got some work to do.
We ain't run into them yet. So, they both must have headed down the hill.
Well, hey, I ain't had time to ask. What really went down back there on that boat?
We missed you. That's what happened. Come on.
All right, you guys, let me know what you're thinking.
Hey, you need horses? Oh, yeah. Hey, Mr. Smith, get yourself indoors. You need to rest that hand.
I'll live.
Get indoors, son. Right. We need you strong.
Okay.
All right, let's head out.
Ain't sure what we're gonna find out here, Dutch.
We have to try. Stay close and we'll do our best to stick to the trail.
This goddamn weather.
In 2 days or more like this now. Oh, it has to blow over soon.
My camera's tripping, man. It's trying to focus on both of these one at a time, one each.
Take it easy.
I'm gonna let you guys decide, man. Make sure y'all sign it off in the comments.
Hey, move up alongside me. Can't see you back there.
Can't believe we lost Davey, too.
He's the last one, Arthur. Oh. Micah.
Gentlemen,
Found anything?
I think so. Found a little homestead down that way.
Okay. Anyone home?
Sure. Place is blazing with light and noise. Sounded like a party.
Let's go see.
Follow me. How's Davey doing?
They didn't make it. Nor did little Jenny.
That's too bad. Davey was a real fighter. Both of them calendar boys is, or was.
Yeah,
And Mac, Sean,
we don't know.
quite a business.
I don't know, man. The way that sun is, that
I'm glad.
not that sun, but that ray is hitting by them trees, man. Moon, I guess. It's dark time. Man, that junk hitting on the left. It's got some nice depth to the image though on the right too. They are both, these TVs are, these are some great options.
Turn out right for that boy. I hope Mac and Sean are still out there somewhere too. Move up, Arthur. I'll cover the rear.
All right, guys. So, it's conclusion time. This TV, the Alpha 95 King, belongs in my bedroom, and I needed to get it back there. I definitely do. But the whole purpose of me making this content was for me to, kind of bring to you guys the most asked thing was, hey, can you compare these two TVs? Because we know you have this TV, so here we are. You should make a decision based on what you think you will be doing for the most part. If you're watching a lot of movie content, I feel like there's just so much potential with the quantum dot OLED, especially Sony with their picture processing, where you're going to have a very, very much enjoyable time viewing the content. The LG G3 is remarkable. And it's a new spin. This is not a review for this TV though. It's just content being mixed up for you guys. What's to come is in the future, we will be, doing some comparison of the A95L. I think that's where we really need to, focus our talking points on. Just keep it in mind, anything that you feel like is better on the A95K versus the G3, the A95K is the year older TV. The G3 is the newer TV. It's the TV that was designed to be better than that TV specifically, So yeah, we know what we have to come in the future. And I just want to know what you guys think in the comments section. My opinion is that they both look remarkable. The Sony, however, isn't a gaming TV. And also, speaking of gaming TV, I made a specific video with these two. If you didn't check out the catalog like I asked you to, about input latency. I'll tag it in right now. I'll card that in for you to be able to check that out. So watch that, kind of let me know what you think on that, chime in, like that, all of that. If you guys want to support this video, all the options are below. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace, God bless, and as always say, max love.